Do you have a truck that's been lowered and every time you start to use it for truck things like hauling a trailer or putting a heavy load in the bed, well, it looks like it has the Carolina squat? If the answer to that is yes, then you definitely want to check out this week's video. But right now, let's roll to that intro. Get in the car like this and smile, there's something wrong with you. What is up? What is happening, all of my beautiful YouTube family? Welcome back once again to the Bad LSX Garage YouTube channel. I'm glad each and every one of you could stop back by one more time just to see what is happening, what is going on here at the garage, at the compound. Thanks for stopping by. Now, as I said in the beginning, do you have a lowered truck that you want to use as a truck, but you can't? All because it's hitting underneath the fender wells, it's hitting the top of the bed, and two, when you do put a load on it or you put a trailer on it, it looks like it has the Carolina squat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not into that Carolina squat deal. So I want to fix my truck to where I can actually use it as a truck. And in today's video, we're going to do that. In fact, IHC Suspensions, their helper bag kit is what we're installing on my 2018 Silverado. IHC Suspension designs and manufactures aftermarket vehicle suspensions. They primarily focus on lowering kits for your Ford, GM, and Ram trucks. Engineered for factory ride quality, and it is made right here in the United States of America. What other state knows about these trucks? Texas, guys. Palmview, Texas is where this is made. Key features include custom control arms, flip kits, and polyurethane bushings, with kits available for various drop levels and specific truck models. IHC offers a lifetime warranty on metal parts and provides support for installation and alignment to maintain factory specifications. I am one of 3 IHC ambassadors, so if you have any questions, concerns, sly remarks, leave them in the comment section and I'll try to do my best to help you out. All I'm here to do is try to show you guys some videos, show you how good quality this stuff actually is, and to connect you with one of the best companies, one of the best suspension companies on the market, and that's IHC Suspensions. Now, as you can see, I've already got it jacked up. Everything is in place. There's a jack underneath the rear end. I also have jack stands on either side. Tires are removed. The first thing we actually want to do is remove these U-bolts. Keep in mind that this rear end has already been lowered by flipping it. So these instructions are for the flip kit version only. Now that your U-bolts are removed with a 21 millimeter, your sandwich bracket will drop down, and then the top bracket that your U-bolts hold on to, remove that on both sides. Then from that point, go to your jack up your rear end. Get it at least 2 to 6 inches up, and then put your C-clamps on the springs, front and back. This will be when you remove that center bolt that the springs don't just fly apart and go every direction. Now to remove the center pin, take your handy dandy vice grips, put it around the top part of the pin, and tighten your vice grips down. Now remove that bolt, which is a 5/8 from that center pin. You want to shock it with something big enough to shock it with. This M18 should do it. Just be careful, don't let the vice grips hit you. Once the pin is removed, you can add a leaf for your airbags. Now we have the little airbag perch onto the springs. Everything is bolted up that way. You can remove the C-clamps. You're pretty much done at this point if you've got everything tightened up. So instead of going to the other side, which I'll finish on my own, I want to show you guys the next step, which will be hooking up these brackets. Now these brackets are heavy duty and they are labeled. As you can see, this one has D on it for driver's side, the other is labeled P for passenger side. And all this does is sandwich against your frame. You have a backing plate that is also labeled D for driver. You just put this on and then sandwich them together, bolt them up, and you're ready to ride. Now I'd imagine if you really wanted to, you could weld this in as well, but I'm not gonna mess with all that. However, some of the things that I will tell you on the driver's side, you do have your wheel speed sensor. You have the little Christmas trees and stuff that's plugged up on top of the frame. You'll have to do something else with it. You'll have to zip tie it up somewhere, put it up out of the way. Same goes with, there's a little bracket up here for, I'm really not sure, I think it's actually your brake lines. It's a 13 millimeter and there's 2 bolts. You need to remove both of those bolts. Now you don't have to remove the bracket, just the bolts. This bracket here will slide over top of the other bracket. I'm sorry if it's not as bright as it was. I have some nosy neighbors that just cannot stand it when my garage door is open or when I'm actually detailing a car. So they think they have to mow every single time. And I don't know what they're mowing other than their dust and rocks and dirt. But anyways, I digress. As you can see, there's a factory hole right here in your frame. You want to take note of that. You want to make a mark dead center or as close to dead center as possible. And what this is going to be is your reference mark for your bracket. Now this bracket does go to the back side of the rear end. It doesn't go to the front. And the reason it doesn't go to the front, I think the 19 up goes to the front and just the 14 to 18 goes to the back. So just kind of note that. Now we will push this bracket in like so, and then we'll take our sandwiching plate, put on the back, take our included hardware and bolt everything up. Now we want to leave this loose. We don't want to tighten it all the way up yet, for the simple fact you want to be able to make adjustments if you need to. Our bracket and our backing plate is loosely installed. We can move it around a little bit. We want to take our airbag now and put the valve in. All you got to do, it already has some Teflon tape on it. Just go ahead and screw it into place. Take your 15 millimeter wrench and just tighten her down. When you get your airbags, they're going to come with a little bit of stage fright. They're going to be an innie and not an outie. What you want to do is, once you have your valve hooked into it, hook your line into it and give it just a little bit of air. Just enough to where you can actually get to the bottom, get to that nut right down there at the bottom. Because what you want to do is now screw your airbag onto the spring perch. Now the passenger side is caught up to the driver's side, or I should actually say both sides are completed. I have the brackets torqued to spec, I have the U-bolts torqued to spec, everything is ready to roll. Now we do not have our airbags torqued down to our bracket yet. That's going to be the last thing we do. But right now what we are going to do is add our airline. Now they give you plenty enough airline. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a place on top of the frame and I'm going to run my airline through that. And I'm going to watch it fall down right in front of my pumpkin. When it's down there, and I think that I have enough up here to hook into my airbag and enough to where if there's travel that it's not going to pull anything apart or rub anything, then I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to crawl underneath the truck and about dead center, probably where the pumpkin's at, I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to cut it with either a pocket knife or something sharp and straight. You don't want a jagged edge because, well, these are push connectors. And if you got a poor cut, they're not going to seal correctly. So just keep that in mind. Now, when I cut this in the center, I'm going to go to the driver's side and do the exact same thing I just did here. Then we're going to meet in the middle. We're going to connect the two and run it out the back.
The next day.
Good morning. You guys still here? Well, I greatly appreciate you still watching. Now, this job could have been finished up last night easily. Now, last you guys have seen, we ran the airlines, we put them down through the middle. I bolted up the airbags after putting a little PSI to them, got everything, making sure everything's worked. Off camera, I actually sprayed some soapy water around to make sure that there was no leaks. Well, the last part that we needed to finish was actually running our Schrader valve. And I'm gonna run the Schrader valve through the top part of the license plate, and that requires me to drill. Now, it was late last night. I could have easily drilled and been done with the whole video and the truck and all, but I'm trying to be respectful to my neighbors. Even though my neighbors are crazy and nosy and, well, they really don't have any respect for me, I still try to be the better one. Well, to my surprise, I don't have to drill anything this morning. these bumpers actually have a little clip in here that you can just pop out. And apparently the Schrader valve that they sent is a perfect fit to actually go through your license plate. So I guess all of that waiting last night, because I was trying to be nice to my neighbors, I could have had this finished up, but here we are. It's a beautiful day, October, in the 80s already, and I'm not gonna complain about it because it could be worse. All right, let's see how this bad boy works. We've got our little Gulu air pump here. I'm gonna crank the pressure up on it. I don't even know if this will do the job, but we'll put it at 40 PSI. We'll remove our little cap and let's put some air to it, see if it goes up. Pumping it up right now. Let's see what it does. $39. Let's look. Let's take a look at it. Oh yeah, huge, huge significance. And that's just with 40 PSI. And let's say now that you want to drop it back down. You want it to be slammed again. Well, the cap that they give you is just a regular cap, but I actually have these caps that can remove a Schrader valve. So we're just gonna slide this cap in here, let the air out, and drop her back down. And just like that, we're sitting back at 3.5 drop. Now for demonstration purposes, I just put 40 PSI in. That doesn't mean that we can't go more. In fact, these bags are rated for 115 PSI, so if you need to bump it up, you definitely got that. I wouldn't recommend going much beyond 115 because I believe that is the max. But IHC also recommends that for your daily driving, just for the way it's sitting right now, that you put at least 10 to 15, maybe 20 in it, just to kind of help the bags, to keep them from dry rotting, to keep everything kind of just give you a better ride. So what's the consensus? What's my overall thoughts and opinions about it? Well, I don't know yet because I've not actually put it to use yet. But here in just a few hours, I plan on doing just that. We don't know if we're going to hook a trailer behind it or not, but we definitely do know that we've got a bunch of stuff to move and we're going to see if it can handle it. We're going to see if the load is there. Now, how long did this take? You're looking at probably 4 hours if you know what you're doing. It's really not that hard. That's about how long it actually took me, and that's with camera work and everything. So, I mean, it's really not that hard. It would have been a lot easier to do if I had all of this before when I was actually lowering the truck. It would just been part of the process. But since I had to take everything back apart, you know, everything was already broke loose. It might be a little rougher on you here and there, but give or take about 4 hours. Family oriented, family owned, and made right here in the United States of America. It doesn't get any better than that. IHC Suspensions, guys, check those guys out. Tell them that Bad LSX Garage sent you if you need your truck lowered, or if it's already lowered and you need little things like helper bags or just little odds and ends. Definitely look those guys up. And that's all I've got for you for this week's video, fam. Until next week. We may have some work to do to a Honda Goldwing. Want to stick around and stay tuned for that. I love you. Are you guys ready? Let's do this. Peace. I'm out.